There we go. Chelsea booked their place in the final of the Carabao Cup. They beat Middlesbrough. They thrashed Middlesbrough on Tuesday evening, winning 6-1 on the night, overcoming a 1-0 deficit from the first leg. It was Middlesbrough defensively an absolute shambles, but Chelsea are in the final. They will face Liverpool on February the 25th. Something Chelsea fans to look forward to. Obviously been a tough domestic season so far. 9th in the Premier League table, 12 points off 4th place Aston Villa. Rory Jennings is alongside me on the social on talkSPORT 2. Rory, how much does making the final and potentially winning it change the narrative around Poch and Chelsea's season, if at all?
Oh, no, it will change the entire state of the season. I think what has been a pitiful, dull, very uninspiring season will suddenly become very palatable. If you win silverware in any season, I think that the season can be considered a success. That isn't how many people feel, I don't think. I don't think I'm speaking on behalf of Chelsea fans here. But the way that I view football, any season where you plant your flag, where you make history, where you win silverware, where you see your captain do something that will be remembered in history forever, has to be positioned as a success, even if people want to belittle it and say it's only the League Cup. I was born in a generation where Chelsea hadn't won a trophy for 25 years. Chelsea went 50 years without a title. I'm never, ever going to be sneery about silverware. So if somehow we can beat Liverpool, I don't really see how we're going to do that. It's going to take a miracle. But if we are capable of winning at Wembley, which feels like a very long time ago since we last did, we've lost 5 domestic finals in a row.
Is it 5?
5. But if we can somehow find a way and upset the favourites, I would position this season as not necessarily a good one, but certainly a palatable one. It will be okay, and I would take it. I would take it. If you said to me now, you're going to finish the season in 9th, but you're going to beat Liverpool at Wembley, yeah, beating Liverpool, beating Klopp at Wembley, of course everybody should take that. I don't understand the fixation on finishing a couple of league spots higher rather than prioritising silverware.
And for Poch, just solely on him, what will this do for him? Because I know we had an argument a few weeks ago. I'm a massive Poch fan. But people will say, he hasn't won a trophy in England. He didn't win anything at Spurs. They bottled the Champions League final, but also you guys in the League Cup final, I think in his first season. Yeah. He can't do it in the big finals. Yeah. What will this do for him? If for him to win a trophy so early on at Chelsea, would that be a big monkey off his back, if you like?
Yeah, it'd be huge. It will be huge because all of the things that you just said there that have been levelled at Poch, I levelled them at him. I don't think he's a winner. In fact, I think he's a bit of a loser as a manager. I think he has proved to be a manager that can get there but can't get over the line. And if he somehow manages to get over the line against Jurgen Klopp, it would be huge. The other thing that I think it will do is I think some Chelsea fans, and I would put myself in this bracket, aren't particularly enamoured with Mauricio Pochettino. The Tottenham links don't help.
Can I ask one question? In terms of, roughly percentages, in terms of in and out, if you had to guess, what would it be? In terms of being
I think more are in favour. More in favour. But I would say that the Chelsea fans are feeling slightly tepid with regard to Pochettino. I don't think it's now insignificant. 20%, if I stab at a number. Mm-hmm. What will change is he is arguably Tottenham's greatest manager since Bill Nicholson, right? And he didn't win anything there. If he comes to Chelsea and wins a trophy at his first attempt, the first trophy he could win, in fact, the first opportunity he has to win silverware, Tottenham's greatest manager since Bill Nicholson can't win a trophy there and somehow comes to Chelsea and wins a trophy at the first hurdle, I will like the statistic if I don't necessarily like the incumbent.
There'll be a good song made about that.
Oh, it's a great story. It's a great story.
Poch,
it just gives me more ammunition to talk about Tottenham and how the issue is actually Tottenham. The reason why Tottenham constantly flatter to deceive is in the ideology that is Tottenham, the ideology that is Spursism. It's overwhelming. It can stop even the greatest, as it did with Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho.
Well, Jose's a stat. He goes there, he wins a trophy literally everywhere he's been.
Apart from Chelsea. And they robbed him of the opportunity. And they robbed him of the opportunity.
6 days for the League Cup final.
And Antonio Conte, the power of Conteism, what Conte did to Chelsea, taking us from 10th to top, was truly exceptional. But the power of Spursism overwhelmed the ideology of Conteism. That's how poor that club can be when it really matters.
In terms of this Chelsea team at the moment, there's been some speculation today linking Callum Wilson with a move to Chelsea. Where do you stand on that? And do you think signing a striker this month is an absolute must? Or are you happy to get through to the end of the season with what you got, and obviously a couple of people returning?
No, we need a striker. But what I would rather do is, look, this season is practically a write-off. Aside from the opportunity to win silverware in one 90-minute period, the season is practically a write-off. Like, even if it goes really well from here on in, there is a ceiling.
12 points off top four.
Yeah, there is a ceiling as to how well it can go.
And the League Cup gets you into Europe anyway.
The League Cup is the dream. So what I would rather do, rather than papering over the cracks and signing a player like Wilson, or obviously we've been linked with an Aston Villa player who, rather embarrassingly, I've never heard of.
Duran, yeah.
I don't want that.
He hasn't played much football for Villa.
I want to sign a proper striker. A striker who we know will work. A striker who
Are you an Ivan Toney fan?
No, I really dislike him. I think he's a brilliant player and I'd like to sign him though. But I really dislike him as a person. I think he's an idiot.
Why?
I don't like the way he conducts himself. He seems incredibly arrogant. I think he's a very good player. I rate the way that
he behaves. But you'd have him at Chelsea,
I've got
right?
no issue. I've got
goals.
no issue with the way that he moved the ball and the thing. I think that was clever. I like that. But I think the arrogance.
Rory. I've never seen more of a fuss made over a ball being moved.
No, that was
outrageous.
That's not my issue.
Happens all the time.
My issue is just the arrogance of the man, the way that he speaks about Brentford. Even though I speak about Brentford fairly badly, I don't.
But you're a Chelsea
I don't
fan.
represent. I'm not their captain. The way that he speaks about the club, I think, is incredibly disrespectful. The way that he has constantly belittled them. I don't like him, but I think he's an expert striker.
Okay. Do you think he'll score? If you sign him in the
score
summer,
bundles of goals.
He'll score 25 goals for Chelsea.
He'll score 25 goals. He's
he's
scored 25 goals for anyone.
He's a top striker.
He's a goal scorer. He is a hungry, ruthless goal scorer. And that is why he is being coveted by so many teams. That is why he's worth so much money. He is that dream striker, the kind of striker that I love, that doesn't really exist anymore because there seems to be this weight put on strikers and what else they do. For example, Gabriel Jesus, brilliant striker, but he doesn't score many goals, but he's still seen as one of the best strikers in the league. And I would still see him as one of the best strikers in the league. But what I love, just players who want to score goals. In the way that maybe Ian Wright was just a goal-hungry machine. All he wanted to do was score goals. All he wanted to do was put the ball in the back of the net. All he wanted to do was break Cliff Baston's record. And all he wanted to do was win trophies with Arsenal, which he did on numerous occasions.
A lot.
I think Ivan Toney is more comparable to that than he is any kind of modern day striker. Just a goal scorer. And yeah, Chelsea are crying out for that. But if I were Toney, the reason why I don't think this will happen, I don't really see what's in it for him. He can go anywhere, can't he? With the exception of what?
No, he can't go anywhere.
Well, with the exception of Man City, because they've got Alvarez.
And Liverpool.
I don't think Liverpool want him.
I don't think Liverpool spend £80 million on Ivan Toney.
No, I don't think
They've
Liverpool
got 5 players who can play across that front.
I agree, but I'd say that Ivan Toney is better than 4 of them. He gets in their team. He would improve whether the team would want him.
Sorry, if Toney right now was a Liverpool player,
yeah, Darwin Núñez on the bench. Darwin Núñez watching Ivan Toney score goals.
I'm not, so I disagree with you.
100%.
Because I think Núñez will play on the left.
Oh, maybe.
And I think
someone else is okay. Jota's watching.
I think Jota will play on the night. And I don't think Klopp would go Núñez over Jota.
I mean, I imagine that Luis Diaz would keep his spot, and Ivan Toney would play through the middle, and Darwin Núñez will be playing the 20 minutes at the end of the game to try and wrestle something out of difficult situations where necessary. But ultimately, Ivan Toney, as much as I'd love him to sign for Chelsea, I don't think it happens. He doesn't fit the profile. I hate what I'm saying here, by the way.
What is the profile?
The profile is somebody who will increase in value, somebody who the club can sign to not necessarily... You're not selling
Ivan Toney for more than £80 million, are you?
No. And what Chelsea want to do is not only bring in players... Well, not at all. We don't want to bring in players for the furtherance of the team. We want to bring in players for the furtherance of the bank balance. And Ivan Toney doesn't do that. He makes you a better football team, but he doesn't make you a richer football team.
A couple of other bits of housekeeping. How important is it having Ben Chilwell back?
Oh, he's a geezer, and he's such a good player. He is one of those... Occasionally, I just feel so detached from, say, online football communities. Like, I'm on social media less and less. Ben Chilwell is a fantastic footballer, one of the better footballers at the club. Clearly, I don't think that's up for debate. And yet there is a fairly significant swathe of Chelsea fans who really don't like him. They don't think he contributes to the team. They don't really want him in the first. Yeah, I don't get it. I think he's a brilliant player. We're so much better with him in the team. The reason that Chelsea won the Champions League was because of the brilliance of Ben Chilwell and Reece James. We're a team built on fullbacks. Sadly, they can't really keep fit. But and not only is he brilliant, but Levi Colwill was a disastrous left back. Very good centre half.
He's not a left back. He looked really awkward left back.
No, he's terrible.
He looked really...
He can't play.
Do you think he'll be a good centre back for Chelsea?
Yeah, Colwill's a good player. I feel sorry for him because he's been thrown into a position. This is why I think Pochettino keeps getting it wrong, because he keeps playing him there. You know, playing there once, maybe, in the way that Nathan Ake...
Did he have many other options for a lot of this season?
Yeah, he has. He has had options. He's had Ian Maatson playing right back with Colwill left back.
Sure.
So they're both playing out of position.
Sure.
There have been many opportunities for him to make sure that Levi Colwill isn't left back.
I'm sure you've seen the stat. It was during the rounds over the last couple of days, but I could not believe this when I saw this. Chelsea have played only 11 games with both Chilwell and James in the side. And 86 without since they won the Champions League. That's extraordinary.
I hadn't seen that stat. Is that what it is?
Yeah. 11 in, 86 without. They played 11 games together.
No, it's not that surprising. I've got a really, really worrying prediction with regard to Reece James. I think that he could become one of those players who just is never fit. You know, the kind of player that plays 13 games a season for the rest of his career. I've got a terrible feeling that he could become that.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.